So,
Um,
how did you get started in cosplay? Like, how long ago? Give me your backstory.
yeah, so I started cosplaying in 2018. So fairly recent.
Wow.
I was a Marvel person, like a Marvel fan first, but that's only been for like not even 3 years yet. And that was sort of like my gateway into to cosplay. So I was a big Batman fan for a while. Like I grew up watching the 90s movies,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why like I cosplay Catwoman recently. And so I never really gave Marvel a chance, because then I was a big fan of the Christian Bale Batman. I thought he was a brilliant Batman, and like
He was, yeah.
those Batman movies were so like different to the ones like the 90s when they were like big blockbuster, like really dark um, making like putting a new light onto superhero movies. It wasn't all like fun and kind of
Right, it wasn't all tongue in cheek. It got serious.
yeah, exactly. So they brought I thought Marvel was a little bit, I don't know, like they didn't take themselves seriously enough. And then Marvel, they brought an exhibition to Brisbane where I live, and I was like, okay, it's not what I'm usually into, but I'll give it a go because it's superhero and I love superhero stuff. And I was so impressed. So then I started with the Capture the G. So, and at the end of Civil War, obviously they introduced Black Panther. Then Black Panther was coming out in the February of 2018. And I just remember seeing a picture of Lupita in the Dora costume. And I was like, wow, I've like never seen costumes like this before. And I was just like, okay, I think I was going to do it for Halloween that year. And I'm like, I have no idea how to make this thing because it's so like colorful and beaded and whatever. And then I was speaking to a friend of mine that I made through Marvel, and she does cosplay as well now. And I was like, oh, when is Brisbane Supernova on? And she said, oh, it's November. So I was like, okay, I've got a bit of time. And yeah, so then Brisbane Supernova in 2018 was my first. And I've been to every con that's in Queensland since, and it's been so much fun.
Wow.
Yeah.
Were you nervous that first time when you went? Were you at all nervous?
Not really. I didn't know what to expect because I always kind of thought like cosplay was like I always thought it was like anime or because I always used to see that on TV, like if they were covering on the news or something, like the big anime costumes. And I'm not into anime, but like I can appreciate all of those, like the work that they do on their cosplays. And like, I mean, the superhero thing I didn't really like click as cosplay for me. I just thought it was like maybe like dressing up or something. But didn't know what to expect, and it was amazing. Like people with like all sorts of talent there, and like people that do their fan arts and selling their novels, and like it was so much fun. And then also like the people that you meet as well. I've made some really, really good friends through both Marvel and cosplaying. So that's one of the other benefits of doing this.
Right, you kind of find your people.
Yeah, you do. Like because my friend Lisa that I've got the cosplay account, so that we met through being Marvel fans, and then my other friend Britt, she's a big Scarlet Witch. She loves Wanda Maximoff. So I was playing Okoye, and Britt was going to be cosplaying Scarlet Witch, so we needed like the third, like the widow from Infinity War when they have the big fight scene together.
Yeah.
Was talking to Lisa and I said, oh, you know, my friend and I, and we need a third person. Do you think it's something you'd be interested in? And she was so like keen about it as well. So and Lisa makes all of her costumes as well. So it's kind of cool, like the stars kind of aligned with the two of us.
That is very cool.
Yeah. But yeah, it wasn't, I think it's because I didn't know what to expect from a con, so I wasn't really like that nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I have never cosplayed. I actually, my degree is in acting. And
Okay.
I've done professional acting, but for some reason, I don't cosplay because it sort of terrifies me a little bit. I think part of it is because when I go to a con, I kind of like to just fade into the crowd so I can see everything and take it all in. I don't like drawing attention, I think, when I'm there. But obviously, I'm crazy about cosplayers. I love seeing cosplayers, and it's really exploded these last 5 years even. I would say even 10 years ago, it wasn't quite, not as many people were doing it. I can remember years and years ago, going to conventions, and I was excited just to see a Darth Vader or a Stormtrooper. Yeah. Because they were few and far between, and now it's like huge, and I love it. It's so great.
With I think probably like the growing of social media and all the different platforms, that's probably probably one of the reasons why.
That makes sense. So you made your costume.
Yes. So I do like making my own costumes. Except for Catwoman, I've made all of them myself so far.
Wow. Yeah. So how do you even go about that? So do you take your own measurements and look for patterns? How do you start that process?
Yeah. So when I first started, so my first version of Okoye, I bought the pieces, but I altered. So I painted, I bought a red bodysuit and I painted and I put like extra beading on the, like on the chest piece. And I just, like that's the way I would do it initially. And then I said, like for Christmas that year, I asked my mum and dad if I could, for a sewing machine, because I knew that I wanted to start making them properly. So yeah, it depends on what you're making. So I get like generic patterns and then sort of use the measurement that's closest to my body. And yeah, that's that's pretty much how I do it. And like as far as, like doing your like props and things like that, it's just reference pictures. That's the biggest friend.
Scouring the internet, right?
Yeah, exactly. So
wow.
And I mean, I get a little bit caught up more than I should in like trying to make things movie accurate, and it's something that I'm trying to get out of the habit of, because it's like you're setting yourself up for failure a little bit. So it's nice kind of putting your own interpretation on something as well.
I can see that would be a trap that's easy to fall into, though, trying to make it exactly movie accurate. Yeah. I saw the Marvel exhibit last fall, but it was after, of course, Black Panther, so I got to see the Black Panther costumes. Yeah. And they were amazing. So hopefully the exhibit comes around again so you can see them up close. Huh?
I really, really would like to have it back here again. Because at the time, they actually had pieces from Ragnarok at the exhibition, because they were shooting Ragnarok on the Gold Coast, which is about an hour away from where I live. Mm-hmm. So they had like little pieces, but yeah, they bring it back. they'll have hopefully the Black Panther stuff, and then maybe some of the like Infinity War and Endgame stuff as well.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to see the vibranium arm that Bucky has now.
Right. Are you excited? I bet you're excited for the series then, the TV series.
Yeah, I really am. I think it's probably going to be pushed back now because I don't know if they. I was listening to an interview with Seb a couple of weeks ago, and I think that I don't know how far. I think they've got like a majority of it filmed. But obviously with everything happening now, they're going to have to probably push it back a little bit. But it'd be interesting to see. Like it's going to be really nice to have him like kind of go out and like on his own.
Yeah.
Not on his own, but have his own character development. He's not going to be like sort of tethered to Steve anymore. Not that was a bad thing, but you know what I mean? Like
I do, like he can take center stage instead of being like the B story of the movie. Yeah, exactly. So who are you cooking up in your head to cosplay for the future?
So I'm going to be redoing my Valkyrie, the Ragnarok Valkyrie.
Yeah.
So she's I'm going to probably start working on that soon. I'm going to redo the casino look for Okoye, so her red dress.
Ooh, yeah, with the wig.
Because I did do that first. Like I did that. That was the first cosplay I ever wore, but I did buy that one. And so I'm going to do that. I want to do another Maleficent look.
Mm-hmm.
So from the second movie.
Yes, your Maleficent is so incredible because it's so earthy and warrior-like. I love it. How did you create the wings? They're huge.
So I had a pair of wings that I bought for a Halloween costume. So I did that I dressed up as Maleficent for Halloween last year. And I used that as my base for my wings. But the majority of it came from, do you follow Alyson Tabbitha?
No.
She is incredible. She's she like basically every cosplay that she does, she can transform her look into whoever she does.
All right, I'm taking a note right now. Alyson Tabbitha.
Yeah, so she's got on Instagram, and she's got a YouTube channel as well. So she had a tutorial for how to make Maleficent wings. So I kind of followed that for the foam part of my wings, and so that's how I always wanted them to be quite kind of grandiose kind of thing, because in the first movie she says she's explaining to Aurora about her wings, because obviously they get cut off in the first movie, and she like Aurora's asking her about like what did they look like, and she's describing them to her, and she says they were so big that they used to trail along the ground behind me when I walked. So that always kind of stuck in my head. So I was like, okay, that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
And that, so that look is based on the very first one that you see her in the second movie. Mm-hmm. When I first watched the first movie, I had no idea what cosplay was. But then when I went and watched the second movie, I was like, I need to do every single one of these looks.
Are the wings heavy? Are they heavy to carry around?
No, they're actually not, because the foam that I used is it's only like 1 millimeter thick, and it's double sided, but it's not heavy at all. Did have some like logistical issues with they're kind of detached a little bit, but sometimes like you only know on the day how the cosplay is going to go, because there's only so much you can do, like walking around your house and stuff.
Oh, sure, that makes sense.
So when you're walking around a con all day, some things just like pop up and you're just like, oh, okay, well, I'll have to fix that for next time.
How do you handle footwear? Because you're on your feet the whole day.
I try where I can to wear flat boots.
Yeah.
Most of the time that's the lucky thing about my characters, is that most of them wear flat shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I have worn heels, so I had to wear heels for Catwoman.
For Jessica Rabbit, did you wear heels for Jessica Rabbit?
Yes, I had to wear heels for her too. But they were quite low. I did that purposely. They were quite a low heel, but still, like you are on your feet the whole day. And I was in a corset as well. So luckily, because Okoye has flat boots, it does. I mean, it's just something. I was talking to some friends last night, and it's just one of those things that you just have to like grin and bear it kind of thing with.
Right.
And then you can just like rest up when you're at the end of the day.
Would you say Okoye is your favorite cosplay so far?
She is, like, I would say she's my go-to, definitely. Like I quite like Maleficent, and I would definitely wear that again. But yeah, Okoye is the one that I feel the most comfortable in. She's probably the closest, like, the character to my personality. Because I think that's where the difference comes in between just dressing up as someone and cosplaying them. The people that you you do justice to cosplaying, like some sort of their character or personality like resonates with yours, and you kind of have those same sort of characteristics that you embody. So that
makes sense. What so you have your Instagram with, it's Lisa, I believe, right?
Yes.
So do you have any coordinated cosplays coming up that you're excited about? And follow-up question, who takes all your pictures? Because you have these fabulous pictures.
Oh, thanks. So we try and do duos. So we're planning to do like a Mando and Cara Dune in the future.
Ooh. That would be great.
So she'll be Mando, I'll be Cara. We are planning like a Maleficent duo as well. She's going to be the Queen Ygritte, so Michelle Pfeiffer's character.
Yeah.
And then our friend Britt that I was talking about before, she's going to be Aurora with us.
Nice.
We've got, sometimes we can't like make a duo. So we also want to do Nebula and Gamora.
Oh, that's good too. Yeah, that would be great.
So like because like Wasp is like, that's what I will know her now as, because I think that like she's a really good Wasp. So we try and do it maybe from this, like, characters from the same movie, or like things with the same sort of theme. Like I really, really want to do. Have you seen the movie The Fifth Element?
Yes.
Yeah, so I really want to. Lilu's like one of my most favorite. Like I love that movie and I love her. So I want to cosplay her at some stage, and so Lisa's a massive Alien. Like she loves sci-fi and she's a big Alien fan. So Ripley, like the original Ripley, and so that's kind of like, they're not from the same movie, but they've got the same theme running through them.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so we try and coordinate that way.
Have you had, you're new to cosplaying, fairly new. Have you had any bad experiences or pushback from the cosplay community or anything like that?
No,
Struggles?
not really. It does worry me at some stage, like at stages, like because it's the internet, so
Right.
But I not really right at the moment.
Good.
Like you do get some occasionally like creepy messages, but nothing like really bad yet, touch wood. You do have to kind of prepare yourself for it. But I think sometimes when I think about it, and it's maybe because we're a duo, so people don't tend to target us as much.
Mm-hmm.
And also like just walking around at cons, like when you've got a 6-foot spear in your hand, people are less likely to like give you trouble.
You put off a strong vibe.
Yeah. I didn't ask the other question before. Our photos.
Oh, yes.
So we have like a couple of photographers that we really like working with. So one of them is Squid Artistry. He did my first photo shoot as Okoye, and so that was a solo one. And then I kept saying to Lisa, like, when he's at a con next time, we have to do a shoot with him because he's really good. And then our friend Matthew, he's taken our photos at a couple of cons as well. And then there's just like some that like when you're at a con, the photographers will just like pull you over and say, "Oh, would you like some photos taken?" And they usually know where the best light is, so that always helps.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
And they know how to stage you and frame you and all that good stuff.
But it's nice to have like friends that and my friend Karen, she cosplays as well, but she's taken a few of our photos recently too. So it's nice to have photographers as friends.
Yeah, it is.
And always credit your photographer and be nice to them.
That's right. Yes, you should always credit them and tag them. Oh my goodness, absolutely. Great for them, great for you too, because then you pull in a whole other crowd. Do you have any like cosplay aspirations or goals, or is it just for fun? Because there are people like this is how they make their living, is cosplaying.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't like to end up like that someday. It does take a lot of work though.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I think if you do it for fun, and then everything else that happens after that is like a bonus.
Yeah.
Because some people, like we grow up, we live in a world now where, Insta famous and all that sort of stuff. And,
Sure.
Some people get into it for the likes and the recognition. And do it for whatever reason you want. But for me, I feel like sometimes that can lead to some issues that can lead to being very, can lead to jealousy if you're not getting things the way you want and other people are getting recognition that you think you deserve. Yeah. So if you're doing it like we are, just fun, like sometimes I fall into that trap too, where I'm just like, I wish we had a few more followers because I think, the stuff that we do is pretty cool.
It is cool.
Then, like, if it happens, it happens. And I like I said before, like the people that you meet through this is one of the biggest benefits of it. So met some really people, made some good friends, and like it's all just a lot of fun. So
well, and it's, like you said, it's a lot of work, and so if you're only in it for the likes and the followers, like the work is going to suck. Because you know what I mean? Like if you don't have that passion to carry you through the slogging of, you know, sewing on beads or gluing on beads or whatever, then you're going to be like, why am I even doing this? And then that's it. Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely.
It's going to be a very frustrating journey, but I mean, not to say that I haven't had those moments, but sometimes patterns are like written for people who have like meant to have a Harvard degree, I swear. Wow, it's so like some of them are really, really complicated to like work out. But no, you're right. It would lead to a lot of problems before you even get started. So just like get in there and have fun. Whether you're making your cosplays or buying them, it doesn't really matter. So just if you're getting into it, we all have to start somewhere, and just have fun with it.
That's a great point to bring up. So what would you say to someone who wants to start cosplaying, but they're not sure if they should for whatever reason?
I just say like give it a go. And I think I've had that question from people, like, you know, how just like a little bit hesitant to do it. And like half the fun is seeing your progress. Like even like progress from like sometime last year, and seeing, you know, I look at my Valkyrie suit from when I wore it the first time, and I'm like, oh my God, this upgrade's going to be so much better than that, because I'm more experienced now and I know how to work with different fabrics, and I've had a little bit of foam experience now. But yeah, just, you know, you'll find your tribe, and just give it a go. Like it doesn't matter if, you know, you buy your pieces and you put them together, and like cosplayers themselves, like the ones that are in it for the right reasons, they're gonna be your biggest support. And there's like the group of friends that I have, like there's no judgment with us. So you just got to have the confidence to take that step yourself. And then once you're in it, you're like, oh, okay, this didn't work, that didn't work, gonna do that. And yeah, that's the thing. Like you just got to have that like within that sort of push in yourself to like, okay, I'm going to do this now.
Cool.
Because I know you say you like to go to cons. So have you ever like met anyone really famous?
Well, let's see. I don't know about really famous. Like I've met, do you know who James Marsters is? He played Spike on Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I've heard the name, yep.
I've met him. I've seen lots of people at cons, you know, from TV shows and movies and stuff. Okay. But meeting them not as often. And in my old job, I used to talk to a lot of people in Hollywood because I covered animated TV. So I would have interviews with people that like I was a big fan of, and I would be all nervous before I got on the call and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say, I'm trying to think. I think James Marsters is probably the most famous. So many cons got canceled this year, and I have so many friends who either cosplay or they sell their stuff. They're makers, and they sell their stuff at them, and so their incomes have just been shot. Yeah,
I feel I feel for them a lot, actually, though, the vendors, like the artists and stuff, because that would be the one Gold Coast Supernova that I just went to. We only just made it inside the window of like bigger restrictions were going to come out on the Monday after the con started. So we're lucky that we got that one in.
Yeah, that's nice.
Sort of started to shut down. So there's meant to be one on in June in Sydney, so Sydney Supernova. Not 100% sure that will go ahead, depending on like what happens. So I'm hoping that none of our major ones have been cancelled yet. Like a couple of smaller cons have been, which is really disappointing. That was one that both Lisa and I were really looking forward to going to in September, but that's got cancelled.
Oh, as far out as September even.
Yeah. I think it was more to do with like the funding of it, and so yeah, it was real because we went to the first time last year, and it was so much fun. I was so looking forward to going again, but yeah, that's not going to happen. So hopefully, like the next big one will either be Brisbane Oz Comic Con in September, or in November they'll have Brisnova again. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Sort of 7 months away. So
hopefully, yes, by then this will all
be
somewhat resolved. That would be nice. Yeah.
And then we'll just, like I said, you know, the first thing I'll do is like give everyone like a massive hug. Because we're going to be able to hug everybody again.
Right, I know.
Like I picture to be ambushed.
I picture everyone just like crowding the streets, crowding the restaurants, crowding this, like no one's ever going to be home for like a year.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the thing is, like, it's not it's comforting in a way to know that like everyone's going through the same thing, and
it does help. Yeah.
And if it makes us a bit more connected, I know it's having some environmental benefits at the moment as well. So maybe this is the way to hit the reset button.
That would be nice.
Get us all back into sort of more basic, going back to basics kind of thing.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I've seen those pictures like India where the sky is clear and all, and I just marvel at that. Like, do they really have that many cars like on a day-to-day basis just clogging on? I guess they do. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people there.
Yeah.
And then like China as well, and then the waterways in Venice have cleared up, and so I don't know. There is a silver lining to this. And then there's always online shopping.
That's a little dangerous.
Yeah, very.
Well, that is a great way to end this interview. Thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to include all of your Instagram links and everything in the description so people can find you.